Hi, thank you for joining us, Ms. Roberta. My name is Ariel. I'm 17 and I attend West Potomac High School. And to kick this off, do you mind telling me about yourself?
Sure, and thank you for having me, Ariel. It's a pleasure to be able to sit with you and hopefully add to your Black History program. My name is Roberta Tinch. I am the president of Inova Mount Vernon Hospital in South Alexandria. I am also the administrator of Inova's musculoskeletal service line, and in that role, oversee orthopedics care in partnership with a physician and a nurse for the entire Inova enterprise. And so that's a little bit about me. I've been with Inova for a year and a half, and I love being a part of this community.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, to kick it off, I have one question. Can you explain what this is? Like, I keep hearing about people talking about equality. So, can you explain how it works in the field of healthcare?
Equality really is the opportunity to make sure everyone has the same care at the same level at the same time. And I think another concept that we also think about is health equity. And some people in that concept need different care. They need care that's specific to their needs. And so you and I might present with the same issue, but I might need something that helps me transition to home. I might need something that's customized to the support level that I have at home. And so I think, equality would be assuming that you and I both have, transportation back to our doctor. But equality is understanding, well, I might need transportation 2 days out of the week because the other 2 days, 3 days, my friend can take me. And so I think we have to think about equality and equity a little bit differently. But it's really important in the field of healthcare that we customize care to where the patient needs so that they can optimize their healthcare outcomes and heal in the best state possible.
Mm. With the position that you're in now, did you see yourself then, or if not, where did you see yourself?
No way. Can I tell you, in high school, I didn't even know this role existed. I didn't even know this role existed until I was in college. So you can find out a lot about yourself and about the world when you head to college. But I actually wanted to be a pediatrician. And so I'd done some shadowing with my mom down at VCU Health System down in Richmond. And I thought, oh, this looks like fun. So I thought I'd be a physician. And I quickly learned in college that it wasn't my passion. So a friend of mine told me about this field. I did a little research, and now I get to still work in healthcare because I've always loved healthcare, but completely unbeknownst to me at eighth grade that this could even be a possibility. And I'm really excited I fell into it.
Mm. As a graduating senior who is interested in becoming a nurse, what steps should they take to ensure that they obtain their dream?
First of all, I would say research it, research the field, right? I hear a lot of individuals who might say, oh, I thought I wanted to get into nursing because I wanted to help people. And it is a field where you can help people, but it is also a field that's intense because not only physically, but emotionally, because you're also walking through that healthcare journey with your patient. So having the opportunity to research what a nurse might experience on a given day would be good. I would say volunteer, right? If you could be a candy striper, do we still? I don't think they use that phrase anymore. Candy striper, a
I probably heard
volunteer,
it in class because I took intro to
right?
nursing. And my teacher probably said it, but mm-mm.
Exactly. It tells me like that's an older term, but if you could be a volunteer, I started as a volunteer in the hospital,
Like a nursing
um,
assistant.
10th grade. So volunteer, see what it's like on the floor, see what it's like to be there. And then as you are in college and you're getting some basic healthcare classes, become a CNA, and then you could be a CNA in the hospital. And you can work in the hospital as a CNA or a clinical technician while you're finishing nursing school. And guess what? Now you have a hospital that knows you, they know your work ethic. And when you go to apply, they're like, oh, yeah, we have a nurse position coming up. You already know the hospital, and we'd love to have you as a part of the team. So try to get in early, set yourself up for like this 12-month on the job interview.
Mm-hmm. Does Mount Vernon Hospital have any programs for high school or recently graduated students interested in the field of healthcare?
Right now, we don't have any specific general programs. A lot of that has been paused due to the pandemic.
Mhm.
But what we do try to do is partner with the county and identify general programs across Inova where we could find opportunities for students to get experience. But I would tell you the best bet is always to go to the volunteer office, and you can do it on your own.
Okay. It's a little off topic, but what's your
Okay?
favorite food?
Pepperoni pizza. Like
Why
I
do you
could
say
eat that.
pepperoni?
I don't know. Well, cheese is boring.
It is sometimes.
Pepperoni or meat lovers. Not too much of a fan of pineapples on my pizza, and
Mhm.
supreme pizza is just too much stuff. And simple. And as a little secret, I love Little Caesars pizza too. Like,
Oh my goodness. I
you
have
just
a friend that loves those pizzas, and we were having such a debate about who has the best pizza. It took us like a whole hour just to, it was
Papa John's and Little Caesars are my top two. That's where I'm going.
what's your favorite color?
Royal blue is my favorite color
Mm.
for no
It's
good reason.
nice.
Yeah, but I can wear a ton of colors, but for some reason I always come back to royal blue.
Mm. Is that royal blue behind you?
And I think it's a little bit of navy blue and light blue in there.
Mm.
Actually, my couch is navy blue. The couches in my office are navy blue. So maybe I should change my favorite color to navy blue. My blinds are navy blue.
Oh, your
Blue runs in
blinds
the
are navy
house.
blue?
Yes. I'm looking around
Wow.
like there's a lot of navy blue in this
Oh
house.
my goodness. What does Black History Month mean to you?
Man, you know, just a little bit about me when it comes to Black History Month. Can I tell you, I never learned about Black history as a high schooler. I didn't have Black history classes in college. And so Black History Month for me really is an opportunity to learn from others' experiences and reflect on what I hear, and then also just seek to learn more for myself. And, it was a function of the school I went to and the college I went to. But as I learned more and as I experienced for myself, one thing I do recall, my parents' experience is different because my parents were born in South America
Mm.
and they didn't move to the United States until the 1980s. And so they personally never experienced, you know, their historically slavery or the civil rights movement because they didn't live here. So these weren't conversations that I had in my household. But what I realized is that regardless of that experience and regardless of your experience or my friend's experience, Black is Black. And so I might say, well, I don't know anything about that. Well, it's still going to apply to me. And so Black History Month also means perseverance, regardless of where you came from, regardless of what you think your circumstances are or were, or regardless of what generations before you experienced. My parents grew up in a third world country where my mom would probably tell you her whole house was the size of a bedroom and in my dining room. That was my mother, right? In a dirt poor country. And so in general, I think Black history is identifying who you are, what you're about, and persevering for whatever you want to be, whenever you want to be it.
Um, who do you look up to?
This was a hard one actually, because at first I was like, I can't pick one person, but then I really had to think about my life as a whole. And I would say it varies depending on where I am in life. It starts with my mother. Sometimes I'm like, oh man, that sounds so cliche, but like I really actually paused and thought, no, it's my mother. Like I said, she grew up in Guyana, South America, and dirt poor, one of 8 girls, and she's a nurse. And she left South America and went to London, England, to pursue her nursing career. And she did that for several years in her 20s. And then after that, she's like, I want to go to the United States, and picked up and moved. Maybe she had a friend here from nursing school. Maybe I think her sister was here. But imagine moving to an entire country where you know less than 5 people
That
and
must be
starting a
scary.
whole, exactly, scary. and it seems like just like, oh, that's just, they tell you that's what happened, but like I couldn't pick up today and move to Germany and not know anybody, right? Or even another English speaking country where you don't really know anyone. And so I have been impressed by, whether I knew it or not, or acknowledged it or not, just impressed by how she was so brave. And she just was like, this is what I want. My dad followed, like, oh, she left, I guess I'll come too. But he's like, oh, your mother went to the United States, and I guess if I wanted to be with her, I had to go too. And I love that fearlessness. I love that determination, and just what her focusing on nursing, on her education, was able to do for my sister and I.
If you could make one wish, what would it be?
One wish, what might it be? You know, I think I wish that there was more time in the day, or even time in the weekend, to just pause and be with your family. You know, for me, I have tried a lot to not work on the weekends, but if the world could just stand still and I could just play with the girls and not worry about anything, or, you know, take long vacations. And so I would wish there was more time in the day to relax and spend time with family.
Let's see. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Let's see. 36. I think that I'm just going to keep pushing forward to continue progressing in my career. I imagine that I would look to kind of have more and more responsibility. But I've always told my bosses and my mentors that, you know, I want your job. Like, I want to run multiple healthcare facilities. I want to be responsible for making that sort of positive change in our community.
Like that. What message do you have for other youth that will watch this?
Keep pushing. Seriously. Like, don't let anyone tell you no. Don't hear no and get discouraged. Like, when someone says no, I want you to look at them, and in your head, don't say this out loud, but in your head go, but why not? You can't tell me that this isn't possible, because literally anything is possible. Because all I say is, you know, keep pushing, and then ask for help. And then I would say that, you know, just find ways to learn more about whatever it is you're interested in. If you walk up to someone and say, you know, I think I'm interested in engineering, I don't know a lot about it, can I spend some time with you? Or how do I get to where you are? What should I do? People really do want to share. They want to see our youth successful. So don't let anyone tell you no. I don't let anyone tell me no. I'm like, you know, I think I'm pretty awesome. And so I'm just going to keep going. You have to know you're awesome.
Yeah.
You have to be confident in your awesome.
And I don't think some people realize that, because, I mean, you can put anything that you put your mind to. I don't think people realize that.
Whatever you want to do, you can do.
Well, Ms. Roberta, thank you for answering my questions.
Oh, thanks, Ariel.
And thank you for joining me. Is there anything that you would like to ask me?
Ariel, let's see. What do you think is the most important thing or challenge for your generation, and how could the adults in your life help you be successful?
The most important / challenging. I would say making it out and becoming what you want to be, and just not worrying about what anybody else has to say. And like the challenging part is like you have people like following others, and you have some just trying to do stuff on their own, but they need help. So like some good resources would be like some challenges, because some people I know they don't have the same resources that I have. So I'll say that would be the challenging part. And then What was the other part of the question?
How could adults in your life help?
Oh, I think probably like a 5 to 10 minute talk with someone like
Yeah.
older than you or someone that you trust could just brighten up a whole lot.
Yeah.
Because I know, even though I'm gonna use my mom for an example, even though sometimes I don't want to go to her about certain stuff, but I'll go to like another family member or somebody that I trust or like I can just calmly talk to. But I know at the end of the day, it's gonna get back to her. So I just it's like just that just trying to come to her because at the end of the day, I mean I know she knows me
Yeah.
because
She knows
she's
you.
gonna figure it out. It's just having that dialogue with
Yeah.
somebody, it just helps and it's like it relieves a whole lot of stress.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a fair point because you and your peers, you experience things different than when I was in high school. And
Mhm.
we can't become adults and forget what it was like to be a senior, right? We have to remember that life is still new and there's new things to learn and there's things we don't know, but we all want to be successful. And so, as I told you a little while ago, we're all regular people. And when you have adults come and speak to you and your peers, I think it's just we have to present as regular people, take off the facade and just have a conversation of what's important to you all and what we can do in small ways to help you all be successful because we do want you to be successful. But
Well,
I appreciate your taking the time, and I hope that um, I could add a little bit of something to your program and
you
that
did.
you all will have a
You did.
successful day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ariel. Take care. Bye
You
bye.
too. Bye bye.